Kyra, welcome to the cave. Thank you for joining me today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Exciting times for you. You've been busy.
I have, yeah, very busy.
So the listeners and viewers that tuned this interview, they can see you on the final season of Firefly Lane, which premiered a few weeks ago. I watched it. It's a great ride so far. I mean, it's not over yet. We're waiting for the second part to come out, and then we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But I was doing some research on you. I want to know what made you get to the entertainment industry. I saw that you started out like a musical theater and everything. What made you jump right into this?
Yeah, so when I was like 4, my mom put me in musical theater because she was like, "What do I do with this child that won't stop talking?" Um, and she grew up as a dancer, so she put me in dance as well. So I grew up in competitive dance and musical theater, and I always loved performing. I loved the fact that I could do something up on a stage and put a smile on somebody's face and potentially make their day or just make them smile in general. So I've always loved that growing up, especially musical theater, because it combines not only dance but singing and acting as well. And there's such an energy that you get from the audience in musical theater. So when I was like 15, I stopped doing competitive dance and decided to focus more on theater and acting, the acting side of things, and started doing TV and film and theater. And that's pretty much led to my journey today.
I love talking to performers like you, where you've done a little bit of both theater and TV and everything. What do you find more challenging, theater or TV and film?
It's interesting. They're totally different. I it's funny because I'm working on a theater show right now. But the last show that I did was in 2019, and since 2019 I've been doing like 3 straight years of film. So after spending so much time on set in the last 3 years, going back to theater, I actually didn't realize how different it really was until the last couple months. The way that I kind of like to explain it is that theater is from the outside in and film is from the inside out. Um, in terms of the emotionality of it, theater is really big and really outwards, where you have to take everything that you're feeling and just like project it out, whereas film is a little bit more internal, because the camera comes to you but the audience can't come to you in the same way. You have to reach out to them.
Mhm. How do you prepare to go on stage at theater and then different for TV and film?
Well, for theater, you get more of a rehearsal process than you normally do for film.
Mhm.
Because film, you basically just have to show up on the day and with your lines
Yeah.
memorized and your character all fleshed out in your brain. Whereas in theater, you actually get that time with the director to
Mhm.
really settle into your character and work out the different beats of the scenes. The film is a lot more fast paced, whereas
Mhm.
theater, it's like you're working on the same thing for a long time. I love both. I love being able to spend a lot of time on something and really think about like each specific moment, and perform that every night, to different audiences, and receive different energies in the same scene or the same
Yeah.
show. I also love the fast pace of TV and film, where you're just like diving right into a scene and getting it done and then moving on to the next thing and not knowing how it'll turn out.
It's amazing. So you've done a little bit of everything. What's the goal? Do you have like a goal or another thing you want to add to your list?
Yeah, I mean, I want to keep doing both. I want to be on Broadway. That's like my childhood dream. But I also I love film in general. I would love to do like an indie feature or something that like a little more gritty. That would be a lot of fun, but I also love when I get to sing and dance on film as
Mm.
well. Um, so yeah, I mean, I want to do it all, really.
Do you have like a dream role too that you kind of hope you get your hands on?
Um, my dream role for theater would probably be Jenna from Waitress. I love that
Okay.
show. It was the first show that I saw on Broadway.
That's awesome. So yeah, let's jump into Firefly Lane season 2, part 1. We see you as Lisa Karen. I had Roan and Allie on the show a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Amazing guests and everything. Let's talk about like how were you approaching out for this series? How were you tell us about your audition and everything?
Yeah. So My audition process for this show has actually been quite a journey. I originally auditioned for Tully, like when the show
Really?
first came out.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I auditioned for a character, and I don't remember her name. But she's the one that uh Tully punches in the face in season 1. I
Mm,
actually almost booked that role, but I was doing another show at the time and the days conflicted. And I was really disappointed that I didn't book it. I was like, oh, like, my career was just kind of starting. I was like,
yeah.
oh, this could have been my chance. And 2 years later, I get the audition for Lisa Karen and I book the role. And it ends up being what was supposed to be, I think, 4 episodes. It ended up being like a 10-episode arc.
Mm,
So if I had booked that one role in season 1, I wouldn't have been able to be Lisa Karen, which is like one of my favorite characters I've ever played now.
yeah. How would you describe this character now? Because like she can be a little mean throughout the season.
Definitely. She's definitely misunderstood. I just describe her as like bossy and she's very particular.
Mm,
She has like a very regimented way that she likes to do things. And she's very type A. Like she thinks that her way, it's like my way or the highway with Lisa Karen. Like she wants things done her way. Which is really funny. Um,
oh.
yeah.
Did you get a chance to read the book?
I actually haven't, no, because Lisa Karen isn't part of the book.
Okay, that's where I was going with this because
Yeah, so I
I don't know anything
watched
about the.
season 1, but yeah, my mom's actually read the book.
Okay.
So we talked about it.
So did you have an easier way to try to connect with this character, how you wanted to play her, since you didn't have to like read the book because she's not in the book?
Yeah, it's fun to be able to develop a character from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just
So
from the script.
so what did you love about this character?
I love how much of a shit disturber she is. Like I just really was able to come into every scene and just stir the pot and basically act however I wanted, and Allie and Roan just had to like deal with whatever ridiculousness I came up with because Lisa Karen is so ridiculous, and she's at she has this kind of duality where she's like aggressively aware of herself, but like also kind of unaware of like the way her actions are affecting others. So
Mm.
as an actor, like it's really fun to play a character where the other characters aren't really aware of your actions, because it means you can do anything.
So you interact with the I mentioned earlier, like Allie and Roan, and it takes place in the 70s. I saw that you love the 70s wardrobe and everything. So was it like did you like being in that era?
Oh my gosh, like put me in a period piece and I am just the happiest I will ever be. I dress like I'm in the 70s most days of my life in general. Um I like my bell-bottom jean collection and my like weird button down like pattern shirt collection is like ever growing. So it was so awesome to be able to dress like I was in the 70s and just to be encompassed in that world.
Mm. So Rowan plays young Kate, and she just becomes like your new best friend in a way
Yeah.
before Tully gets back in the picture. Like, how would you describe now that relationship between you two?
Between us like in real life.
Yeah, and then after and working together too.
Oh my gosh. Well, actually, I just saw them last night, or 2 nights ago, actually, because they came and saw the theater show that I'm a part of right now. But we just clicked instantly. It was so awesome to be on set with the two of them. They're both so kind and so
Yeah.
hilarious, individually and together. And I seriously can't get enough of them. Like, we're really good friends.
That's awesome. What's your favorite scene that you were in through this first part of the season or second
Oh,
season?
I think it would have to be the scene where I think it's in episode 4, but we shot out of order, so it's all kind of mixed up in my brain. But where I get to bang the gavel, and that was so fun. Yeah, where I'm leading the AV club meeting. I love that scene.
That's awesome. So, what are you hoping for, like the Firefly Lane viewers that love this show that tune in? What are you hoping they get out of this first part of the season?
Um, I hope they like it, and I hope that it really reminds them of their own friendships, especially like because I'm a part of the 70s timeline. Like I feel like it really reminds you of of your childhood best friend, whether or not you stay friends for your whole lives, like Tully and Kate do. I just hope it reminds people of the importance of friendship.
Yeah. Now the question is, are we going to see you in the second part? Are you in it?
I am, yes.
That's awesome. And when does that come out? The second part? Have they announced it
It
yet?
comes out in June of 2023.
Oh, so we got a little while.
Yes, yeah.
That's awesome. Now, what can you? I know you. I mentioned earlier before we went on the air, you're also part of the last season of Riverdale. What can you tell us about that? I know you can't tell us too much.
Yeah, I can't tell you too much. I've had so much fun on the show for the last 3, I think, years, 2.5 years that I've been on it. Yeah, I can tell you that it's set in the 50s, that we're going back to kind of the comic book time. They just released some first look photos. And that's pretty much all I can say right now.
That's awesome. Well, what do you got? Do you have anything coming up next that you're allowed to tell us about? Any other projects?
I just booked a really exciting project, but I can't talk about it yet, unfortunately. The other thing is my theater project that I'm working on. I'm playing Anne in Anne of Green Gables right now at a theater here in Vancouver. And so that's been really fun.
That's awesome. Kyra, lastly, now, how can the listeners, the viewers, find you on social media to keep up with you with everything?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Kyra_Leroux. It's just my name, or on TikTok as well. So yeah, come find me and say hi.
That's awesome. Kyra, thank you for giving me a few minutes today. This was great.
Thank you so much.